How do you even... Let's just go with that. What's up guys, I'm randomfrankp, back with episode 154 of Room Tour Project, the series where we show off some of the best gaming setups to give you some ideas and inspirations for your own setup. If you see anything you like, I'll have it all listed for you in the description down below so you can check it out. But let's kick off episode 154. Alright, first up is Fuzzy with a nice white and red setup. You see, black and red pretty often, but white and red, not too much. I like the way it's pulled off here, with all the white peripherals, even the white monitors, and having them both side by side, with it being curved, just makes for a really nice result, I think. And by the way, if you haven't been able to spot it by now, obviously a Destiny theme setup. So checking it out, those are both 32-inch curved displays from Samsung. Again, they line up really nicely side by side. I also like how you have the wallpaper spanned across both the displays. And taking a look at the peripherals, his keyboard is the Razer Black Widow Chroma and the Mercury finish, which looks killer. We also have the Razer Death Adder Elite mouse, again with their special Destiny edition. That little geometric thing over there is for the Nanoleaf Aurora light panels. And for audio, you can kind of see it there in the corner. He has the Razer Nomo Chroma speakers. And then going along with his PS4 Pro, he has the Razer Man of War headset, and that's also, as you've guessed, the special Destiny edition, which is why it's white and black. And that's sitting on the Razer Chroma base station. Now moving on over to the PC, this is the InWin 301 case, and inside he has an Intel i7 7700 CPU with a Gigabyte Z270 gaming motherboard, 16 gigs of G-Skill Ripjaw RAM, and a Zotac GTX 1080 Ti graphics card, but also with the tempered glass and some RGB lights inside, making it all red to highlight the white and red theme he has throughout. And that's about all we have for the specs. Not a lot of info was provided, but that's okay. You can see the mounted Samsung SSD, and since they're so cheap, the prices have gone down so much, you gotta have one of these if you have a gaming PC. So kudos for going with a Destiny 2 theme. I know it's not a popular game, it's kinda hated, but that's alright. I like the way you pulled it all off. White and red always looks really nice together. It's a nice change up from the black and red, like I said. I think it's a good looking setup. Next up is Zane, and no, this is not the setup from the thumbnail. Also, a quadruple monitor setup. These are always just nuts when you see them. All the pixels, really looking nice here with the really saturated RGB lights in the setup. The nice and vivid wallpaper as well. Really makes the setup stand out, I think. That wallpaper, I feel like the tiger is just staring into my soul windows. Anyways, for the displays, that overhead is a 34-inch ultra-wide from LG. His primary display is a 24-inch monitor from Asus. Then the two ones on each side are unknown, he says. Doesn't know which brand they are. I don't know either. They do have a bit of a fatter chin, if you will, bigger bezel, but that's alright. Now down to the peripherals, he has the Cooler Master Master Keys Pro S RGB keyboard with two, yes two, your eyes are not deceiving you, Razer Death Adder Chroma mice. Don't know why he has two, but hey, who am I to judge? That's on a glorious extra large extended mouse pad. Then for some other gear, his headset of choice is the HyperX Cloud 2, and he has the Elgato Stream Deck here, all decked out for all his streaming needs. And then now it starts to make sense. The reason he has two mice is because he has one, a dedicated gaming PC. Then in the back you can see he also has a streaming PC. So the two mice for that, it all makes sense. I spoke too soon before. We're just going to focus on that gaming PC for now. This is the Corsair Crystal 570X RGB case. Inside an Intel i7 6700K CPU with the Corsair H100i Pro AIO on the MSI Z178M5 motherboard with 16 gigs of Crucial Ballistics RAM and an EVGA GTX 1080 Ti graphics card. Some RGB lighting inside there, RGB fans, and also that is not a monster can inside the PC. Zane here is a trickster. It's an illusion. It's just next to it. It fooled me at first. And a quick shout out to the cable management here. You can see how he has it all routed behind his monitors with the light strip even behind his monitors. Tons of USB hubs as well to keep it all locked down. And for the most part, everything he has going on, it's a pretty damn good job, I'll say. It's not the prettiest behind it. That's alright, as long as it's out of sight and you don't gotta worry about it. Only has that one cable hanging down there. Not even too sure what that one cable would be, but that's not too bad considering everything he's got. So Zane, the quadruple monitors, the bright purples, nice and, royal. Got that whole royal theme going on with the tiger. I see what you're going for. The two PCs. This is a nice gaming setup. No doubt about it. Now we've got Mytzusky. I'm probably butchering that name, but damn it, you beautiful bastard. I want to give you a big old kiss right on the forehead because these are some fantastic photos. They're level, they're just, bright, they have a nice color to them. You would not believe the amount of photos I get that are unusable. I'd say 95% of the submissions I get are just really bad photos that I have to either alter or correct somehow, and these are great. So thank you, sir. And not only that, your setup is banging. This thing's got a lot going on, and I'm pumped to check it all out. His primary display is an Asus 34-inch ultrawide, the PG348Q. Then on the sides are two 24-inch AOC monitors, with that overhead being a massive 4K Sony Bravia TV. Doesn't have a size listed, but that's easily gotta be 50 inches, I'd say, if not bigger. Got the light strip around the TV as well, and behind the desk, tons and tons of RGB going on. So for its peripherals here, we have the SteelSeries M500 keyboard with the SteelSeries Rival 100 mouse, and the trifecta SteelSeries Quick extra large mousepad. For audio, not really pictured in any of these photos that I could see, but his headset is the HyperX Cloud, and his speaker setup is Logitech Z906 5.1 speaker setup. I'm not too sure what this kind of lamp thing is off to the side here, closest to the screen. It looks pretty cool though, maybe some sort of mood lamp. And then again, a shout out to the cable management. It's all managed pretty well with the IKEA Signum underneath the desk there. So up top, and with all the monitors coming down, there's really no cables in sight, even with that the TV overhead. Pretty damn good job. And now we got some great shots of the PC as well. Of course, you'd come to expect that. And a little festive little tree shrubby thing going on with some lights in it. But as for the case, Phanteks Enthu Evolve ATX case with the Galaxy Silver finish. Inside's an Intel i7 6700K CPU with the Corsair H100i V2 AIO. We have 16 gigs of Corsair Vengeance RAM, 2 sticks of 8 gigs, and then a 8GB module of HyperX Fury RAM on the Asus Z170 Pro gaming motherboard, and 2GB GTX 1070 G1 gaming graphics cards in SLI. Again, some RGB fans and stuff, some custom braided cables. It is definitely a nice looking PC inside of a great case with some fantastic photos to make it look even better. So this is what makes the series thrive. This is the reason why I keep going. Every now and then you see a setup that just makes you be like warm and fuzzy. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is a good setup. Regardless of how many I've seen, every now and then one comes along, knocks you off your feet. It's the wow factor, it's the execution of how you pulled it off, and it's the RGB lighting that makes it all pop and stand out. 10 out of 10 would jaw drop again. Next up is Ric with a much more simple approach here. Instead of going from 4 displays, we're getting it back down to the solo monitor, which is also a nice refreshing change every now and then. All white, of course, you see these pretty frequently, but I like how, again, it just comes together nicely. I've been doing this show for nearly, 4 years this will be in January? Yes, for the longest running setup show out there. And yeah, I don't have to explain why I like setups anymore. You guys get the idea by now. It's 150 plus episodes. You know all my fluff words by now. Checking out the display, it is the Asus ROG Strix XG32VQ. It is a 144Hz panel. Nice and subtle curve to it as well. Propped up in one of those very popular IKEA riser units, which is nicely used as a monitor stand. Into the peripherals, we have the Corsair Gaming K63 TKL wireless keyboard with the Logitech G703 wireless mouse on the G240 mousepad. Then in the back for audio, you can peek it there in the corner. Got the Logitech Z313 speakers and the HyperX Cloud 2 headset. That's 3 in a row for HyperX. And that's on the Chroma headset stand from Corsair. Into the PC, we have the NZXT H500 case with the Intel i7 8086K CPU. That threw me off for some reason, I don't know why. With the NZXT Kraken X62 AIO, we have 16 gigs of G.Skill Trident Z RGB RAM on the MSI Z370 Gaming Pro Carbon motherboard and an MSI GTX 1080 Ti Gaming X Trio graphics card. The RGB RAM, the RGB fans, the RGB graphics card, the RGB AIO. It's a nice looking PC. But yeah, it's simple, it's cozy. I like, the white desk with the Alex drawers, really nice and warm looking lamp there to bring out and highlight some of those blue RGB lights you have going on. I don't know, I'm getting the cozy vibe from it. GG, my man, GG. And then last but not least, we have Nathan with a quadruple monitor setup yet again. It's just that kind of episode. Let's just dive right in here. His primary monitor is an Acer GN246HL, is 144 Hz. The top one is an Acer 19-inch, and then both the left and right monitors are 17-inch Acer displays. They got them all angled in towards them like a cockpit kind of thing going on. Hey, you watch your mouth. For the keyboard, we have the Corsair Strafe RGB with the Corsair M65 Pro RGB mouse with the Corsair MM200 extended mousepad. And then for audio, I didn't spot any speakers, but he does have the Audio-Technica ATH M20X headphones, a pretty good solid budget option. Checking out the PC here, Corsair 275R tempered glass case in white with some blue RGB lights as well. Inside's an Intel i5 8600K CPU with the Cooler Master Master Liquid ML129L RGB AIO. Could you drag your names out any longer, Cooler Master? Let's see it. We got 16 gigs of Team Nighthawk RGB RAM on the Asus Z378 Prime motherboard and a Gigabyte GTX 1080 WindForce graphics card. I like the way the blue really stands out in these cases. Looks pretty nice. So utilizing all four monitors here with the Tomb Raider wallpaper spanned appropriately, looks great. You got the RGB light strip behind your desk, some pop figures, prints up on the wall, an RGB gaming PC. This is definitely what you'd call a gaming setup, but I'm just stating the obvious at this point, ranting for no reason. Good job, Nathan. Alright guys, that'll wrap it up for episode 154. I hope you all enjoyed. Don't forget, check the links in the description down below for all the gear and hardware you saw. Have listed down there for you, as well as some very simple instructions on how to submit your setup. If you think your setup is better than the ones we showed off today, please submit. If you liked the episode, give it a thumbs up to show your support. Feel free to follow me on Twitter at randomfrankp. And last, if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button. Well, I'm Random Frank P. Hope you enjoyed. Have a good day.